Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you, because this truth has the power to transform everything you know about life. Life is not happening to you by accident. It's not some random series of events beyond your control. No, life is unfolding exactly as you're creating it from within. Every single moment of your existence is a reflection of what's living inside your mind and heart. Think about it. What occupies your thoughts day after day? What emotions do you carry with you from morning till night? These aren't just passing clouds in your mental sky. They're seeds. Seeds that are being planted in the soil of existence right now at this very moment. And mark my words, these seeds will grow. They will become the trees, the flowers, and yes, even the thorns in your life's garden. You are experiencing right now, in this present moment, the harvest of seeds you planted in the past. Whether you realize it or not, whether you accept it or not, your current reality is the result of your own inner desires and beliefs. But here's what most people miss. Here's the tragedy of the modern human condition. You've never truly looked deep enough to discover what you actually want. Your mind is like a wild horse running in 1,000 different directions at once, and that's precisely why your life feels scattered, fragmented, broken. Let me paint you a picture. On one hand, you desperately want wealth. You dream of abundance, of financial freedom. But on the other hand, you also crave peace. You want inner calmness. However, the reality for anyone who has pursued wealth is that it rarely goes hand in hand with peace. They walk different paths. You want the world to recognize you, to respect you, to celebrate your achievements. Yet simultaneously, you also want to remain untouched by others' opinions. You want their praise, but you don't want to be imprisoned by their judgments. You want to be free, yet you're constantly seeking approval. Do you see the contradiction? Do you feel the tension? These internal conflicts are tearing you apart from the inside. This is why there's so much suffering in your life. Your desires are at war with each other. Imagine trying to walk north and south at the same time. You'd exhaust yourself completely, break down mentally and emotionally, and never actually arrive anywhere. Now here's something profound you need to understand. Existence is listening, always. It's incredibly sensitive to every vibration you send out. It hears your every desire. It feels your every emotion. But, and this is crucial, it doesn't respond to your words. It doesn't care about your prayers if they're just empty syllables. What exists responds to your vibration, your authentic frequency, your true energetic signature. If your mind says one thing, but your heart feels something completely different, existence isn't confused. It knows exactly what to do. It listens to your heart because that's where your truth lives. That's where your real desire breathes. So the first step on this journey is radical honesty. You must discover what you truly desire. Not what your parents told you to want, not what society programmed you to chase, not what your teachers, your culture, or your traditions handed down to you like some inherited burden. I'm talking about the desire that rises from the core of your being, the longing that comes from your soul itself. Only that authentic desire has the power to become creation. Only that can manifest into reality. Think of existence not as some distant god sitting on a throne somewhere in the clouds, waiting to judge your requests. No, existence is beating within you right now. It's in every breath you take. It's in every emotion you feel. It's alive inside you. When you desire something with your whole heart, not just your mind, but your entire being, then your complete existence begins to work in that direction. Your energy aligns. It stops scattering in 100 directions and starts flowing like a powerful river towards one destination. Remember this timeless truth. Where there is genuine desire, a path appears. Where there is authentic longing, existence itself becomes your partner, your ally, your co-creator. But when your desire is unclear, when it's contaminated with contradictions, your energy scatters like dust in the wind. And then you wonder why life isn't giving you what you want. You complain, you feel victimized, you blame circumstances, other people, bad luck, and God. But the real truth, you never actually knew what you wanted in the first place. Creation happens only when desire is focused, pure, and rising from your authentic self, not from your conditioned mind, but from your soul. Let me share something beautiful with you. Every single morning when you open your eyes, you're not just waking up to another day, you're stepping into a completely new creation, a creation that's being formed, shaped, and colored by your thoughts, your emotions, your desires. Each morning is a blank canvas, and your thoughts, these brushstrokes, will paint today's reality. Pay attention to how you start your day. If you begin with complaints, life is so hard, people are terrible, nothing works out for me, I'm stuck, I'm unlucky, then guess what?
That negative energy becomes your companion throughout the day. It colors everything you see. It shapes everything you experience. The circumstances that unfold will mirror that negativity right back to you. But imagine this instead. Imagine waking up and feeling, truly feeling, the miracle of being alive. I am breathing. I am conscious. I have this gift of another day. If you can touch that gratitude, that wonder, that joy, even for just a few moments, the entire energy of your day transforms. Why? Because existence is a mirror, a perfect, impartial mirror.
This is one of the most important things you'll ever understand. Existence doesn't add anything to what you give it. It doesn't subtract anything either. It simply, precisely, perfectly reflects back to you what you send into it. Send love, receive love. Send fear, receive fear. Send gratitude, receive abundance. Send resentment, receive conflict. So many people walk around saying, I don't know why bad things always happen to me. I'm cursed, I'm unlucky. But they refuse to look at what's playing on repeat in their mind. There's a constant loop of fear running in their consciousness, and that fear becomes a magnet, attracting experiences that match its frequency. Existence is completely neutral. It's not punishing you, it's not rewarding you. It's simply operating according to natural law. Think of it like a radio. If you want to hear a specific station, you have to tune in to that exact frequency. You can't tune in to 95.5 and expect to hear what's playing on 101.3. Life works exactly the same way. Whatever emotional frequency you're living in, you'll attract experiences that match it. So please understand this. The problem is never really in your external circumstances. The problem is in your internal frequency, your inner vibration. If you're vibrating at the frequency of suffering, you'll find suffering everywhere you look. The same beautiful world that brings joy to someone else will appear dark and hostile to you. But if you're vibrating at the frequency of love, that same world becomes paradise. Don't say, I need to change my life. That's backwards. Say instead, I need to change my mind. I need to change my inner state. Because your mind is the creator of your reality. What's happening inside is what manifests outside. Confusion within creates chaos without. Peace within creates harmony without. Here's a radical perspective. The suffering you see in your external world is not your enemy. It's not attacking you. It's actually a messenger, a signal, a loving alarm telling you that something needs to shift internally. Stop fighting with the external world. You'll never win that battle. You can't rearrange the entire universe to suit your preferences. Instead, change your internal frequency, shift your vibration, and watch what happens. The same people, the same situations, the same circumstances will suddenly reveal completely different meanings. New possibilities will emerge from what seemed like dead ends. When you change your inner mirror, existence reflects back a completely new image. You are not a victim of your experiences. You are the creator of them. Your desires are sculpting you. Your thoughts are building your future. Whatever you plant inside will grow outside. So every morning, consciously, deliberately, plant your mental and emotional seeds with awareness, because these seeds will become the garden of your entire life. And if you plant seeds of love, compassion, and trust, life itself becomes heaven. Now, let's talk about something tricky, something the mind doesn't want you to discover. Your mind is incredibly clever. It creates this convincing illusion that every desire rising within you is authentically yours. It feels like your desire, doesn't it? But if you pause, if you stop for just a moment and look with real awareness, you'll make a shocking discovery. Most of your desires aren't yours at all. They were given to you by society. They're your parents' unfulfilled dreams that they unconsciously transferred to you. They're conditions your teachers imposed. They're expectations the crowd around you projected onto you. And you swallowed all of it without questioning, without examining, without checking if it actually resonates with your soul. From the time you were a small child, voices were telling you, be good, be successful, be rich, be like everyone else, fit in, don't stand out too much, but also be special, be the best, win, achieve, prove yourself. And you started walking in that direction without ever stopping to ask, wait, is this what my soul actually wants? Or am I just following a script someone else wrote? This is the grand illusion of the mind. The mind creates a false center of identity,
And from that false center, you believe you're making your own choices. But really, you're just running programs that were installed in you long ago. Your mind is stuffed with borrowed desires, hand-me-down dreams, second-hand ambitions. So ask yourself this crucial question right now. Is this desire truly mine? Is it rising from the depths of my own being? Or is it someone else's voice echoing inside my head? Be ruthlessly honest. Most of the time, you'll discover that the voice inside isn't yours. It's society's echo chamber. The mind is influenced and shaped by external forces, and as long as you keep obeying the mind's commands, you'll never discover your authentic path. This is why meditation is essential. Meditation is the clear mirror in which you can finally see your real desires. What is meditation? It's the practice of rising above the crowd inside your mind. It's about going beyond the constant noise of thoughts. As you descend deeper into yourself, gradually, slowly, the mind begins to quiet down. And in that silence, in that profound stillness, a new kind of voice emerges. It's not borrowed, it's not programmed, it's not conditioned. It's the authentic voice of your being. This true desire feels completely different from mental wanting. There's no fear in it. There's no comparison with others. There's no ego-driven goal where you're trying to prove something or become someone to satisfy your sense of self-importance.
It's natural, effortless, like a flower blooming, like a bird singing, like a river flowing. And when this authentic desire rises from your depths, something magical happens. Existence itself begins to support you. You don't have to struggle and force and push. Life begins to flow in your direction. All circumstances, all people, all opportunities start aligning as if guided by an invisible hand opening your path. This isn't a miracle. This is natural law. When your desire resonates with your true being, you become one with the same universal energy that's running this entire cosmos. You're no longer swimming against the current, you're flowing with it. But when desire comes from the programmed mind, struggle begins immediately. The mind is divided, fragmented, split. Therefore, its desires are also contradictory and conflicted. You move in one direction and something inside pulls you back. You take 2 steps forward and an inner voice says, "But what if you fail? What will people think?" This is why humanity is so exhausted, so incomplete, so deeply dissatisfied. We're divided against ourselves. So I'm not telling you to abandon desire. That's not the path. The path is purification. Purify your desires, clean them, clarify them, see where they're really coming from. If a desire is coming from ego, from the need to prove yourself, to show off, to feed your sense of superiority, it will bring suffering, no matter if it's fulfilled or not. But if it's coming from your soul, from your authentic nature, from your true purpose, it will bring joy, whether it's fulfilled or not. The journey itself becomes the destination. Sit in meditation, descend into the silence within, and simply observe. Watch your desires without judgment. Which ones are truly yours? Which ones were installed by others? Just recognizing the difference is the beginning of liberation. Because when desire becomes pure, when it's aligned with your authentic self, life itself bows to you. What you desire is no longer just your personal want. It becomes existence's own intention flowing through you. And then, even the impossible becomes possible. Let's talk about your greatest power, the one force you have that can change everything: your attention. Attention is not just some passive thing. Attention is energy. Attention is creative force. Attention is life itself. Wherever you place your attention, your energy flows there. And wherever energy flows, creation happens. You have infinite energy inside you, truly infinite, but you scatter it everywhere. You waste it on complaints, on worries, on comparing yourself to others, on replaying past hurts, on imagining future disasters. And then you say, "I'm so tired. I have no strength. I can't do this." But the truth is, your strength hasn't diminished. Your direction has been lost. Think of the sun's rays. When they're spread out, they just provide light and warmth, pleasant but not particularly powerful. But take those same rays and focus them through a magnifying glass.
concentrating them on a single point. Now what happens? Those rays can start a fire. They can burn through paper. They become intensely powerful. Attention is that magnifying glass. It focuses your energy. And when your attention becomes steady, concentrated, unwavering in one direction, the impossible becomes possible. But if your attention keeps jumping, past, future, others' faults, your own shortcomings, this worry, that regret, this fantasy, that fear, your energy scatters. You become weak, depleted, and life feels heavy and meaningless.
Here's a law you must understand. Whatever you pay attention to grows in your life. If you constantly focus on what you lack, I don't have enough money, I'm not smart enough, I'm not attractive enough, why do others have it so easy? That sense of lack will expand and multiply. Why? Because attention is a magnet. It attracts more of whatever you're focused on. Focus on lack, attract more lack. Focus on problems, attract more problems. Focus on what's wrong, and more things will go wrong. But focus on love, and love multiplies. Focus on gratitude, and abundance flows. Focus on possibilities, and opportunities appear. When you pay attention to compassion, to giving, to contributing, prosperity grows. Not just material prosperity, but richness in every dimension of life. Why? Because compassion connects you to the creative energy that's the source of everything. The entire universe is pulsing with this giving energy. Look around you. Trees give fruit without expecting payment. Rivers flow without demanding gratitude. The sun rises every single day, giving light and warmth to everyone, whether they appreciate it or not. Why? Because their attention is on giving, not on getting. And wherever there's this energy of giving, abundance naturally follows. So if you redirect your attention, your entire life can transform. Stop obsessing about what's missing. Start seeing what's already here and feel genuine gratitude for it. The moment you do this, miracles begin. Remove your attention from negativity. Negative thoughts are energy vampires. They drain your life force. They create darkness inside you. And where there's darkness, nothing can grow. Only decay happens. When you consciously redirect attention toward positive emotions, love, gratitude, appreciation, wonder, a light turns on inside you, and that inner light dissolves the outer darkness. Then life doesn't seem so difficult anymore, not because circumstances changed, but because your vision changed. Remember this, the world is not as it appears. The world is as you see it. Your vision, your perception, your way of seeing, this creates your experience of reality. If you see life as a blessing, it becomes a blessing. If you see it as a burden, it becomes unbearably heavy. Two people can be in the exact same situation, same job, same income, same circumstances, and one experiences it as prison, while the other experiences it as opportunity. Same reality, completely different experience. The difference? Their attention, their focus, their vision. So, turn your attention toward love, toward gratitude, toward peace, toward what's working instead of what's broken. Gradually, you'll witness your energy transforming. What seemed impossible becomes effortless. Doors that were locked swing open. People who can help you appear. Resources materialize. Because the law of creation is beautifully simple. Energy goes where attention goes, and where attention goes, life blooms.
Now, we need to discuss something subtle but crucial: the difference between desire and attachment. Having desire is completely natural. In fact, desire is essential for growth. Without desire, a seed wouldn't grow into a tree. A child wouldn't develop into an adult. A seeker wouldn't search for truth. So desire itself is not the problem. Desire is energy. It's the force that moves you forward. It creates momentum in your life. The problem begins when attachment gets mixed with desire. What is attachment? Attachment is when you think, this must happen or I am incomplete. This must work out or I am a failure.
I must have this thing, this person, this outcome, or I cannot be happy. The moment you believe that something external is required for your completeness, you've lost your freedom. You've handed over your peace to circumstances beyond your control. Attachment makes your mind restless, anxious, desperate, because now you're fixated on results, not enjoying the journey. You want life to bend to your will. You want reality to conform to your expectations. But existence doesn't work according to your preferences. It works according to what serves your highest growth. Here's a truth that might sting a little. What you think you need isn't always what's actually good for you. But whatever comes to you always contains the seeds of your evolution. Always. Even the painful experiences, even the disappointments, even the rejections and failures, they're not punishments. They're curriculum. They're designed to grow you into who you're meant to become. So here's the practice. Have desires, but don't turn them into demands. Let your desire be like a fragrance, not like a desperate need. When you want something too intensely, when it becomes an obsession, you're actually telling existence, I don't trust you. Only I know what's right for me. And that's ego talking. That's the false self trying to control reality. Instead, transform your desires into prayers. Be like a child who trusts their parent. The child might ask for something, but they trust that the parent will give them what's truly good for them. When you relate to existence this way, with trust instead of demand, you release your life into natural flow. This kind of desire has no tension in it, only joy, because you're not clutching the outcome, you're enjoying the journey itself. You know that whatever unfolds will be exactly what's needed. And this knowing, this trust, this surrender, this is meditation in action. When attachment falls away from desire, you become light, free. Whether the desire is fulfilled or not, your inner peace remains undisturbed. And paradoxically, this is the state where your desires actually have more power to manifest, because you're no longer blocking the flow with your anxiety and control. Think of it this way. Desire is like a river that wants to flow naturally. Attachment is like a dam that blocks the flow. If you dam the river, you create stagnation, pressure, and eventual breaking. But if you let it flow, that same water becomes life-giving. It nourishes everything it touches. So desire freely. Want what you want. Dream your dreams. But don't strangle them with attachment. Don't make your happiness conditional on their fulfillment. When you desire this freedom, existence partners with you. And what manifests is not just your creation, it's existence's own intention flowing through you. This is the art. Desire passionately, but hold lightly. This is the first step of meditation and the gateway to liberation. Let me tell you something that might sound mystical, but is actually utterly practical and scientific. When your desire is pure, meaning it genuinely rises from your authentic being, from the depths of who you truly are, the entire universe aligns to support you. This isn't magic. This isn't wishful thinking. This is how reality actually...
Look at a tiny seed. When it falls into the earth, is it alone? Does it have to create everything by itself? No. The earth embraces it, providing minerals and stability. Water comes to awaken it. Sunlight reaches down to energize it. Air circulates around it, bringing oxygen. The entire universe conspires to help one small seed fulfill its potential. Why? Because that seed is simply being true to its nature. It's not pretending to be something else. It's not trying to become an oak tree when it's a rose seed. It's just authentically expressing what it is. Living your truth. When you also live according to your authentic nature, existence doesn't obstruct you. It flows with you. The problems arise when your desires aren't genuinely yours, when you're living in imitation of others, when your wants are shaped by social conditioning rather than soul truth. When you're chasing someone else's definition of success, someone else's dreams, someone else's life path, that's when you're out of alignment.
And existence cannot support what's false, it only supports truth. The nature of authentic desire. When desire is pure, it feels different. There's no anxiety in it, no fear, no grasping, no comparison with others. It's as natural as breathing, as effortless as a flower opening to the sun. A flower doesn't think, how should I bloom? When should I bloom? What if I don't bloom as beautifully as the other flowers? It just becomes ready, and when the moment is right, it opens. Clarity through stillness. Similarly, when your mind becomes quiet, when the internal chatter subsides, your authentic desire becomes crystal clear. It reveals itself without effort, and that desire naturally guides you to your life's path. You don't have to figure everything out. The path appears under your feet as you walk. Universal support. The universe supports those who are internally aligned with truth. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions flow in the same direction, when there's no internal contradiction, you sync up with the cosmic flow. Then, synchronicities start happening. Coincidences multiply. Doors open at just the right moment. People appear who can help you. Resources show up exactly when needed. Not mysticism, but science. This isn't mystical nonsense. This is how energy works. Just like a magnet attracts iron, a purified consciousness attracts matching circumstances and opportunities. What you hold in your internal world materializes in your external world. Your dominant thoughts and feelings create a vibrational signature, and reality responds to that signature. The practice of alignment. So the practice is this. Get to know your authentic desires through meditation and self-inquiry. Look deeply at what's arising in you. Ask, is this coming from my ego's need to prove something? Or is this coming from my soul's true calling? If the desire arises from your deepest truth, from your authentic being, rather than your conditioned personality, it will absolutely manifest. It has to, because you're now aligned with the same creative force that's orchestrating this entire cosmos. You won't have to force it. You won't have to struggle and manipulate. Existence will guide your steps. And life transforms from exhausting struggle into a beautiful dance, a dance where you and the universe move together in perfect rhythm. The power of positive language. Here's something that most people completely miss, and it's costing them everything. The human mind is clever, but existence is simple. And one of the simplest yet most powerful principles is this. Existence doesn't understand negation. The problem with no. Let me explain. Your mind constantly thinks in terms of what you don't want. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to fail. I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be alone. But existence doesn't hear the word no or don't. It only registers the energy, the vibration, the emotion behind your words. So when you say, I don't want to be sad, where is your attention focused? On sadness, right? And we already established that where attention goes, energy flows. So you're actually feeding energy into sadness. You're magnifying it, attracting more of it. Vibration over words. Existence responds not to your vocabulary, but to your vibration. Words are just surface-level noise. The real message is transmitted through your emotional frequency. You can add no or don't to your sentences all day long, but if your attention and emotional energy are focused on fear, that's what you're calling into your life. The child's fear. Think about a child who keeps saying, I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be scared. What happens? The fear intensifies and surrounds them. Why? Because their mind has locked onto fear as the primary subject. The mind creates more of whatever it focuses on, regardless of whether you want it or don't want it. This is why what you resist persists. What you try to avoid grows. What you fight against becomes stronger.
Your life is a reflection of your dominant thoughts. Every thought is a seed planted in the soil of consciousness. If that seed is filled with no, with resistance, with negation, it plants tension and conflict in your life. But if it's filled with yes, with acceptance, with positive affirmation, it brings harmony and flow. The reframe. So here's the practice. Instead of thinking about what you don't want, train yourself to focus on what you do want. Don't say, I don't want to be sad. Say, I choose to live in joy. Don't say, I don't want to fail. Say, I am moving towards success. Don't say, I don't want to be afraid. Say, I am cultivating courage. Can you feel the difference?
It's not just semantic, it's energetic. The entire vibration shifts. How the universe responds. The universe cannot work with negative vibrations creatively. It registers them as confusion, as static, as interference. But when you think and speak in positive affirmations, your vibrations align with the creative harmony of existence, and then life becomes easier. Things start flowing. This isn't pop psychology. This is the science of consciousness. This is understanding how energy actually works. Your emotions, not your words, are creating your future right now. Every no binds you. Every yes frees you. Every statement of lack creates more lack. Every statement of abundance attracts more abundance. The practice. So starting today, become aware of your mental language. When you catch yourself thinking or saying what you don't want, immediately reframe it. Don't say, I don't want this. Say, I want this instead. And whatever you want it fully. Want it with love, not with fear. Want it with trust, not with desperation. Because where there's love, creation happens. Where there's fear, destruction happens. Opening the door. Change not just your words, but your emotional orientation. Transform every no into a yes. Watch what happens. Your entire life will start flowing in a new direction. And you'll realize something profound. Creation was always ready to support you. The universe was always on your side. You were just standing at the door saying no, keeping it closed, blocking the flow. Meditation, the purifier of desire. Let's bring all of this together now. The relationship between meditation and desire is the key to everything I've been sharing. Desire in itself is power. It's the creative force of existence itself. But when this power is wielded by an unconscious, conditioned, scattered mind, it can create chaos and suffering. This is why meditation is not optional, it's essential. Meditation gives your desires direction, clarity, purity, and light. The boat without a rudder. Without meditation, desire is like a boat without a rudder, tossed around by every wave, crashing into rocks, going in circles, eventually sinking. But with meditation, that same boat finds its direction. The wind that was your enemy becomes your friend. The ocean that seemed overwhelming starts revealing safe passages. Descending into silence. When you sit in meditation, when you close your eyes and turn inward, something beautiful begins to happen. The constant noise of the mind starts to quiet down. The crowd of thoughts begins to thin. The mental chatter fades. And rising from beneath all that noise, you encounter something you may have never truly experienced before. Deep, profound inner silence. In that silence, in that stillness, desires still arise, but they're completely different from the desires of the chattering mind. Soul desires versus mind desires. These are soul desires. They're not selfish. They're not driven by fear or competition. They're not about proving anything or filling some void. They're pure, simple, natural. And here's what's beautiful. These desires don't burn you. They don't create anxiety. They make you bloom. Whether they're fulfilled or not, they bring joy because they're not about grasping or achieving. They're prayers, not demands. Clearing the inner sky. Meditation is like the rain that clears the sky. After the storm, the sky is crystal clear, transparent, luminous. Similarly, after meditation, your mind becomes clear, and for the first time, you can actually see what you truly desire. Not what you were told to desire, not what you think you should desire, but what your soul genuinely longs for. The path reveals itself. When you connect with this authentic desire, you don't need to create elaborate plans or force outcomes. The path reveals itself naturally. Existence itself begins orchestrating the details. Remember, when desire is pure and aligned with your truth, the universe doesn't resist. It conspires, it cooperates, it celebrates. Because now you're not separate from creation. You've become a conscious expression of the same intelligence that's creating galaxies and growing forests and turning seeds into trees. Life as sacred dance. And then life is no longer a struggle. It's no longer you against the world. It becomes a sacred dance, a beautiful harmony, a flow where you and existence move together as one. So let me leave you with this. Your thoughts are not random, they're creative forces. Your attention is not passive, it's your greatest power. Your desires, when purified through meditation and aligned with your soul's truth, become the universe's own intention flowing through you. Stop fighting, stop resisting, stop saying no to life. Start meditating, start purifying your inner world, start thinking in affirmation rather than negation, and watch, truly watch, as your life transforms from struggle into flow, from suffering into joy, from separation into sacred dance with existence itself.